most important thing is to not procrastinate and not delay these things, because especially for kids, because of compound interest, the most important asset they have is time. And so if you can start now and start today and not wait for until the future, it can be really beneficial to your kids.
I received a question from Amy on Instagram at AndyHillMKM, and here it is. I've heard you talk about the importance of starting investing early. I have 2 kids, one preteen and one teen. We invest for their college already, but I'd love to get them interested in investing too. Is there a way to keep this process simple and get them interested at the same time? Amy, thank you so much for reaching out. What a great question, and congratulations on investing for your kids' future college expenses. I know that those are going to be expensive for me with a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old, so I'm glad you're already working to give them a leg up. Now onto your other question, Amy. You want to get them interested in investing and have them learn how great it can be for their future. That is super cool. You know, my mom did this for me as well when I was in middle school. I didn't know a lot about investing, and actually she didn't know a lot about it either, but we kind of learned together and we had a lot of fun learning together. So since my personal experience was quite a while ago as a middle schooler, I thought I'd ask someone for some perspective on kids and investing today. So I'm excited to be joined by Rishi Vamdatt, the creator of Peasy Finance. Since Rishi was 6 years old, he's been fascinated with the world of personal finance, reading personal finance books and investing his allowance in stocks to build his retirement fund. He's been featured on CBS as the 11-year-old whiz kid who offers free financial advice to thousands online. And I'm thrilled to have him on my show. Welcome to the show, Rishi.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so glad to have you here and learn from you because you've got a lot of knowledge in these areas. I was diving into your YouTube channel. You cover everything from credit scores to budgeting and to investing, right? So let's help Amy out here with her question. She's got some children. They are preteens. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's your age. Maybe that's 11 and teens as well. So what's the best way for them to get interested in investing?
So I feel that in this case, the best way to get interested in investing is to be involved in investing and actually start investing. And so as like a parent, and that's actually kind of from my experience, they can like set up a part of their brokerage account to have a kid's investments or create a custodial account so that the kid can actually start investing. And it's not just money for the kid, it's actually money that the kid will manage and will have a say in. And so they can kind of make a decision and be the decision maker of what to invest in. They can understand what's going on. They can kind of be more engaging and involved with the whole process. And if they see firsthand kind of what investing is like, then that can be really helpful to get them interested in finance and start building their portfolio from a young age. And also, I've actually been doing this since I was 7. I've been investing half the money from my birthday, which I decided not to have since before I was 7. So half my birthday money and all of my allowance, I actually invest. And so I've been doing that, since I was 7. And so I actually started out by investing in individual stocks. But then later, as I learned more about finance and I got more interested in this, I realized that it's actually better to use index funds because they're diversified and you don't need as much money. And so I invest in index funds now. And I also do dollar cost averaging, and that's an investing strategy that I've learned over time as I've invested and as I've learned more about finance.
That's incredible. Dollar cost averaging, index funds, these are all my favorite buzzwords, my friend. I love that you did that. So tell me why, when you started doing individual stocks, why did you transition into index funds? What made you make that change?
So as I learned more about finance, I read books and magazines like Kiplinger's, Fortune, Forbes, Entrepreneur, etc. I learned more about finance and all the different strategies, and I kind of realized that investing in individual stocks isn't that good of an idea, especially for me. Since I'm a kid, it's way easier to just invest in index funds. And so I decided to change my strategy from investing in stocks to index funds. So I invest in an index fund that tracks the S&P 500, and I've been doing that for probably at least 3 years now.
That's incredible, Rishi. I remember when If you remember this maybe like a year or so ago, everybody was getting all excited about the Tesla stock, right? I want to own Tesla. I want to own Tesla. And I never bought it. I never bought the individual stock because I was like, I really like index funds. And then lo and behold, Tesla continued to do really well. And then they were automatically a part of the S&P 500. So I was now owning Tesla. I mean, isn't that kind of funny? Sometimes if you have an individual stock that you think is doing great, don't worry. Just wait a little bit a while and they'll be a part of the index fund. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, actually, a lot of the stocks that I used to invest in are part of the S&P 500, which is kind of nice because even though I'm investing in an index fund, I still get to have some ownership in that company through the index fund.
I think that's incredible. So let's talk to Amy again. Should she open up a brokerage account specifically for them or do the investing on her brokerage account?
So it depends. Either thing is fine. So like I personally, my investments are a part of my dad's brokerage account and I have a spreadsheet to keep track of all my investments, but custodial accounts can also be a good idea. So it depends. Either one is fine. So whatever you think is best, you can do. And also another thing, like when you're either using a part of your own brokerage account or have a separate brokerage account, as you're going through the investing process and you're teaching your kid about it and they're getting involved and engaging with it, there might be some terms that come up that they don't understand. And in that case, just so that they have a better understanding of investing, they can look those up or you can show them that and help them learn by using a kid-friendly resource.
I love it. I love it. And some of these terms we talked about already, index funds, you explained that very well. Dollar cost averaging, that's a term that I just learned maybe 4 or 5 years ago. What does that mean, dollar cost averaging? What does that have to do with investing?
So dollar cost averaging is an investing strategy where you invest a certain amount of money every month automatically. And whether the stock market goes up or down or something changes, you still invest that same amount of money into the same investments. And that's also automatic investing. And so that's really good for a lot of reasons. So one reason is that it can be nice because you don't have to manually invest. And if you see stock prices going up or down, you might make impulsive purchases or buy and sell stocks based on your emotions, which isn't good because those can have unnecessary impacts on your portfolio and can lead to you getting a lot less returns than you otherwise would have. And also, since you're investing automatically, you don't have to worry about forgetting or continuing to invest because it's just investing and forgetting about it. In dollar cost averaging, the goal is to kind of not even realize that you're investing. And so that way you invest consistently and you don't have to worry about remembering or stopping because it happens on its own. You don't need to think that I might stop investing, which could be a really bad mistake that people make, which can also be avoided through dollar cost averaging.
I think that's very smart. And you know what you can do when you stop worrying about investing and the emotions? You can go back to doing the things you love to do, right? You can go out and play. You can hang out with your buddies. If you're a parent, you can spend more time relaxing, whatever it is you like to do, instead of paying attention to the TV and the ups and downs of the stock market, right?
Exactly, yeah. Since you're not paying attention to the stock market and you're not spending time investing, you can use the time to do something else that you actually enjoy.
And that's what life's for, right? Enjoying, right? So we let the index funds do the work while we go and have some fun. I love that. Let's talk to the person who's listening right now that's thinking, you know what, my kids, they only care about video games. How do I get them interested in money? What would you say to them?
So I think there's two things really that they can do. One is to kind of involve their kid in day-to-day financial activities, which is basically depends on your kid's age. So if they're in elementary school, you can talk to them about using a credit card when you're paying using a credit card at a store, or you can bring them along when you withdraw money from an ATM and explain how you're getting money out of your bank account. And then if they're older, maybe in middle school, you can talk about how you can cash a check using your phone. If you're doing that and you're depositing a check online, you can teach them about that and about mobile banking. And then later on, if they're in high school, there's other financial concepts that you can involve them in and have them be a part of, like creating a household budget. And that's one way to get your kid interested in finance and to engage with it by actually kind of taking the time to use these day-to-day activities that have to do with finance and explaining to your kid what's happening and kind of just taking the time to make sure they know about these things. And another thing that parents can do is to give their kid an allowance and let them manage it and manage their money. And so that has a lot of benefits. One thing is that it can help them make like different choices, and those maybe they'll be good choices and the kids will be happy. But sometimes they might also make mistakes. They might spend all their money on one thing and they won't have any left over to buy something else. But they'll learn from that and they won't make the same mistake as an adult when the stakes are higher. And so that's also a really good thing. And through this management, they can also learn about the importance of distinguishing between your needs and wants and not buying too many needs on impulse. And they'll also learn about saving. And so another thing that parents can also do about saving to kind of encourage their child even more is to match their savings. So whether it's $1 for $1 or 25 cents for $1, whatever the amount the kid saves, as an added incentive to save more for the future, parents can also match it. And all this combines to kind of simulate the real world and as an adult and help them learn things from firsthand experience instead of just reading it in a book. And that can help them be more prepared for when they become an adult and have to manage their own money.
These are wise words, everybody. Absolutely. I really like your point, Rishi, on just trying to take everyday things that we do as parents and kids and make those be learning lessons, because it doesn't have to be, hey, we're going to go over, sit here and look at this book. It's like, no, you're doing things on a daily basis that can be taught. I love that. So let's talk to the people who are listening at the top of this interview that said, okay, I'm ready to get my kid started with investing today. What's one micro step? What's one small thing that they can do today following this interview to get started for investing for their kids?
So I think the most important thing to do immediately, like after this interview, is to start the process of opening a brokerage account for your kids, a custodial account, or just starting to get them investing through your brokerage account and getting them involved with the process and having them engage with this and make their own choices regarding investments. And so that can be really helpful, because the most important thing is to not procrastinate and not delay these things, because especially for kids, because of compound interest, the most important asset they have is time. And so if you can start now and start today and not wait for until the future, it can be really beneficial to your kids.
I love this advice, everybody. Rishi Vamdatt, thank you so much for your time today. You have a great website and you have a great YouTube channel. Where can people go to learn more from you?
So our YouTube channel is called Easy Peasy Finance. On it, we have over 175 videos covering all different concepts of personal finance. So investing, credit cards, banking, taxes, the stock market, budgeting, retirement, all these different aspects of personal finance in short, concise, animated, fun YouTube videos, which we make to help kids learn finance in a simple and fun way. So everything we do is based off of that fact. So our videos are animated and they have lots of images so kids can engage with them and actually enjoy learning about finance. We have a question and answer format with 2 characters to make it easier for kids to grasp and retain information. And our videos are also short, usually 2 to 3 minutes, which means that since kids have a shorter attention span, they'll still be able to grasp the information and learn these concepts without losing interest halfway through. So all of our 175 plus YouTube videos are available on our YouTube channel called Easy Peasy Finance. Just search Easy Peasy Finance on YouTube. And in addition to that, we also have our website, which is called easypeasyfinance.com. And in addition to all of our videos, it also has a lot of other free resources. So all free stuff. So we have free courses, downloadable infographics and spreadsheets and calculators. We have our podcast. We have a lot of other things like sorting our videos by financial literacy standards, by different topics, and a lot of other bonus material that you can get for free on our website, easypeasyfinance.com.
That's perfect. Excellent. So Rishi, I understand the cartoon characters, they have special voices. Who does those voices?
So both of the characters, Super Cooper and Wall Street Willie, I do both of their voices. So
can you give us a little taste right now?
Okay, so Super Cooper is a cowboy, and this is what he sounds like. This is his voice. And then Thanks. And then Wall Street Willie is just my regular voice, so like I'm talking right now.
Excellent. Well, I love it. I love what you guys are doing, and congratulations on all your success. You are really helping people. You say this channel's for kids. Man, I learned a lot by going to this channel, everybody. If you're looking for some investing 101, personal finance 101, this is the place to start. Rishi Vamdatt, Easy Peasy Finance, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to have been here.